Our topic today is the Greek theater. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. It appears so. Okay, Greek theater. A. Over 2,500 years ago, theater began in Greece at the religious festivals that honored Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and of the harvest. These festivals became so popular that the storied theater festivals in Athens lasted 6 days and was attended by over 15,000 people. A chorus of men and boys told stories in the earliest plays. It is said that one day a man named Thespis stepped out of the chorus and spoke alone, and the chorus then responded. Thespis then became the first actor, and so even today we call actors thespians in his honor. After this, the number of actors increased to 3, in addition to those participating in the chorus. B. At that time, if you were a playwright and you wrote a play for 7 characters, how would you get an actor for each role? You can see how this would be a problem. Therefore, what the leaders of the theaters decided to do was to assign more than one role for each actor. In order to accomplish this, the actors wore different masks. Thus, the masks of comedy and tragedy have become symbols of the theater even today. C. Greek playwrights entered their plays in contests for the festival. As a symbol of victory, the winning playwright won prize money. And I guess that's what that is. Money, money and an ivy wreath to wear. The theater of Greece had many important playwrights, and I'll try to pronounce these names: Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides. Euripides, no, that's the right way, and Euripides, who wrote tragedies. Comedies were written by Aristophanes and Menander. Plays that made fun of Greek legends were known as satyr play. The word satire originates from this. One of the famous plays written by Sophocles was Oedipus. D. Oedipus goes to Egypt and encounters the Sphinx. In Greek legend, the Sphinx devoured all travelers who could not answer the riddle it posed. What is the creature that walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 in the evening? The problem is the main character will be devoured if he does not solve this riddle, which does not mean that the Sphinx will build him up and kiss him. Therefore, save the main character by solving this riddle. Put your answer here. E. The Poetics was written by the great Greek philosopher and teacher Aristotle. In the Poetics, he discussed the theater of his time. The book discussed important topics of the theater, including plot, what happens, theme, the idea or message, character, music, diction, and spectacle. Aristotle became the first literary critic. F. It should be noted that Socrates taught Plato and Plato taught Aristotle. Although Aristotle and Plato are both philosophers and teachers, yet they had a few differences. One key important difference was that Plato was a transcendentalist. This means that Plato believed that in order to understand truth, one must transcend beyond the world to a higher reality where true concepts exist. Guess that would be like The Last Airbender, where Aang gets into that super state. What's the name of that super state? Hmm. A higher reality where true concepts exist. However, Aristotle was no transcendentalist, right? Plato was the transcendentalist. Aristotle did not see the human condition as a trap distracting the mind from truth. Instead, Aristotle believed we could use the body as a tool in learning. Both Aristotle and Plato believed thoughts were superior to the senses. Yet Plato and Socrates believed that knowledge is virtue, that knowing the right thing will lead one to do the right thing. However, Aristotle believed that knowing the right thing to do was not enough. You had to actually choose to do the right thing. Very interesting. G. Greek theaters were built on hillsides. They sat the audience on the natural slope of the hill. The orchestra was a large circular area located at the foot of the hill. As they chanted their lines, members of the chorus moved. The actors performed behind the orchestra on a raised platform. The actors changed their mask on the scene. To represent the location of the play, the Greeks used the front wall of the scene. And so our word scene comes from. Okay, that's the mistake right there. From. Okay. Scene comes from the Greek word skene. Here is a quick review of what we just learned. The Greek theaters were large, open air structures constructed on the slopes of hills. The Greek theater consisted of three main elements: the orchestra, the skene, and the audience. The orchestra is a large circular or rectangular area at the center part of the theater, where the play, dance, religious rites, acting place, where acting took place. Okay, I got an extra place there. Yeah, there it goes. Why is that? Okay, and acting. There we go. And acting took place. H. It should be noted that the Greeks had special machinery, including platforms on wheels and a device to lower an actor from the top of the skiing house onto the stage. One way they used this device was to show a god coming down to earth. Scenery was used to help give locations for the action of the play. I. It is generally agreed among most historians that the Greek era is one of the most important times in theater.